Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. 4 topics for this video. I think they're so important that I'm shaking. The first one, Lavrov announces new round of Russia-US talks. Ram pam pam, you see that? Where? I will let you know. Next one, Trump open to visit Moscow. Oy vey, what do we have there? Next one. German election winner dismisses ICC arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Who knew? And the next one and the last one is this. Modi likely to attend Victory Day parade in Moscow. TASS. So, isn't that fantastic? These guys, how do you call it, blow their cover now? Willingly, braggingly. All right, let's start with the first article. This is unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Here. Oh, sorry, not that one. This one. Lavrov announces new round of Russia-US talks while, this is the 26th of February, today, while the forces behind all this garbage in Ukraine are pushing for more war. I just uploaded a video before this one today where I give you the list of the war promoters, the ones who want war against Russia to continue. Go and check it out. We used about 30 articles in that one. Believe me. All right, the high-level meeting will be held in Istanbul on Thursday. Thursday? What's today? This is Wednesday. Tomorrow, according to the foreign minister Lavrov, and I trust you, I believe you, high-level diplomats from Russia and the United States are set to meet this week to discuss the operations of their representative embassies. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said. Lavrov made the remarks on Wednesday at a press conference in Doha, Qatar, specifying that the meeting will take place in Istanbul, Turkey, on February 27th and will focus on normalizing the work of both countries' embassies. These guys are moving fast, if true. The outcome of the upcoming talks will determine how quickly and effectively we can move forward. Makes sense. Finally, the European civilization at work. The two sides are expected to address systemic issues stemming from the previous US administration's unlawful actions to create artificial obstacles, end quote, for the Russian embassy's operations, according to Lavrov. Got it? That's fantastic. Excellent, excellent. I'm waiting for that. Next one. Trump open to visit Moscow. This again from the 25th of February. An official trip will be possible once the Ukraine conflict is settled, according to the US president. And Donald Trump says, and Putin, will come here too. So can you imagine President of Russian Federation coming to the White House after he was a war criminal 2 weeks ago? What does that tell you? Truth and justice, my friends. And I'm not bashing Putin, obviously. I'm bashing how these guys are receiving orders and are following. So tomorrow if they're asked to say, I don't know, Tom Jones is French and not Welsh, they will say, yeah, he's French. And the next day if they're asked to say that Tom Jones is Chinese, you want to say Tom Jones is Chinese. Whatever you say, man, just give me the money and the power and I'm good. That's the level of our Western civilization nowadays. US President Donald Trump has expressed openness to visiting Russia, contingent on progress in peace negotiations to end the Ukraine conflict. He's fighting a big mountain. Trump made the statement during a joint press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron in Washington on Monday. When asked by a reporter about his plans to visit Moscow, Trump responded, and I'm quoting, "If all this gets settled down, which I think it will, sure, I would go there, and he'd come here too," seemingly referring to Russian President Vladimir Putin potentially visiting the US. Excellent, excellent, excellent. What do you think? Responding to another question about attending Russia's Victory Day celebrations on May 9th, Trump noted that the date was pretty soon, but the visit would occur at the appropriate time. And he says here, expects Ukraine conflict to end within weeks. So what do you know? And the suggestion that Trump might come to Russia in May first appeared in French conservative news magazine Le Point. But anyway, excellent. Go and visit. Go and see. Have some fun. Get some Russian Moscow ladies of the night. And as they said, he was pooping on the bed and so on. Remember all that garbage, the Steele dossier with the hookers in Moscow? Yeah, they were having golden showers all over the place in the hotels. Please, and it was a lie. But the operatives fed us. But they were like, this is a spoon. I was show you something. It was a spoon. Okay. All right. So I tell you a story. I tell you a little short story. How my mom used to do this. I was sitting at a table. Mom in front of me, usually my dad here, and my brother here. So we were sitting over here and eating. And the food was during the Ceausescu's times. When I was younger, I was, my mom smacked me around a lot. I deserve it sometimes. And maybe not a smack, but anyway. Go. And she would cook, obviously. Not my father. He has never cooked anything for me, just so you know. All right, so she would, and I said, I don't like the food. I was just nibbling in it. And she said, okay, try this. And she would give me the spoon. And while I was sitting, I was against the wall. So potentially I could go here. That's it. I couldn't go further than that. It was the wall. And she was standing in front of me and she would pick from her and she would give me, come on, you got to try it. Emily, you got to try it because you don't know. You're stupid. You don't know. Ești prost. Nu știi. You don't know. You don't know if it's good or not until you taste it. Come on. Nicely. And I was like, And I said, and it was escalating into aggression, saying, don't keep me with my arm extended. Don't keep me. And she was trying to push it and drop and then smack. And I couldn't go back. And smack, and then, how is it? Bad! Smack! What the fuck? That's the way I was. So, yeah, can you tell? The past behavior and experience in predicts future. All right, so, talking, my friends, talking. Let's go with the next one. Let me tell you again that nothing changed in Germany. Nothing. With the elections of the conservatives. I said that when they said they won. It's the same guys. It's Angela Merkel. I always make Meghan Markle and Angela Merkel. Anyway, pieces of shit, but different caliber or different, taste, flavor. Anyway, so here we have the Germans with their freaking guilt. They're owned, not only by the Americans, but All right, let's move on. German elections winner dismisses International Criminal Court arrest warrant for Netanyahu. I mean, Germany is a signatory of the ICC court, but they say, you know what? We're going to break the law. Remember when the Germans told the Russians, a contract is a contract at the beginning of the war that was started by Russia, unprovoked. Remember? Ein Contract ist ein Contract. No, fuck you. What are you doing here? Who's your owner? Turn around, get your panties down, or put them to the side. He's coming to... Anyway, it is an absurd idea that the Israeli Prime Minister cannot visit the country, Friedrich Merz has said. Absurd? I mean, if your country is a signatory of the International Criminal Court issued a warrant to this guy, then if he shows up in Germany, by that agreement, you must, unless you're a fuck up, arrest the guy. Now, if Putin would show up in Germany, he would be arrested, we're told. That's why Putin did not go supposedly to Brazil and South Africa, but Lavrov instead. Because you gotta arrest him, South Africa. Brazil, you gotta arrest him. You're a signatory of the ICC. Remember that? All these guys. And right now, I guarantee you, the Poles, remember when the Poles said, if Bibi comes to Auschwitz for the anniversary of 80 years of liberation by the Soviet army, we're going to arrest him. No, they wouldn't. And Bibi did not want to embarrass the Poles to show up and say, hey, go there. Hey, stop. Or how do you say in Poland, sit down? Coka? Okay, Coka. And all the Poles will be down, right? He didn't show up. I guarantee you, if he would have shown up, the Poles would be Coka, sitting down. I speak Polish, man. I'm fluent in Polish. as in Yiddish, as you can tell. So yes, my friend, these are owned. These are owned. Remember, you're not guilty of anything that you personally haven't done. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is free to visit Germany without fear of being detained under an International Criminal Court ICC arrest warrant. Friedrich Merz, leader of the Germany Christian Democratic Union, supposedly they're conservative, and the country's presumed next chancellor has said the ICC issued arrest warrant for Netanyahu and former Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant in November 2024. The Americans imposed sanctions on ICC court, but ICC court is the Americans are not signatory of the ICC court, so I understand, but for the same reason. So who's your boss? Alleging that they committed war crimes and crimes against humanity related to Gaza conflict, Israel has rejected the accusations, dismissing them as anti-Semitic, like the Russians will, like Putin was issued as well. So Putin should say, no, I dismiss those accusations because they're anti-Russian or anti-European, let's put it that way. Anti-European, no? So, speaking at the press conference on Monday, Merz, whose party recently won the German parliamentary election, revealed that he had invited Netanyahu for a visit despite Berlin being a signatory of the Rome Statute, the treaty governing the ICC. And I'm quoting. I think it's a completely absurd idea that an Israeli prime minister cannot visit the Federal Republic of Germany. If he's guilty of something and you have that signed, where is the absurdity? You know, he said we would find ways and means for him to visit Germany and leave again without being arrested. Now, if you didn't know, now you know. You need to understand who's who, what's what on this planet right here. I don't know, you either don't want to hear it, you're part of it, or you're just imbecile. All right? Not you, because you're here with me in minute 12. So if you're here, still with me here, you either like what I'm saying, or you're interested in what I'm saying, or you really hate me and try to find out something so you can... All right, next one in the last topic. Modi likely to attend Victory Day parade in Moscow. The Indian Prime Minister could attend this year's event on May 9th, which marks 80 years since the end of the World War II. Excellent, my friends, excellent. Why not? Why not? After all, the Russians... for you. Yeah, the D-Day, yeah. 6th of, June 1943, right? Or 43, maybe. 44, wasn't it? The Soviet army, just so you know, break the news if you didn't know. When those guys came over Red Rover, it's like right now the Americans trying to get over Ukraine. The Russians are occupying Ukraine, so these guys want to meet them in the middle so they don't take over everything. So when they had the debarkation, the landing on the D-Day, the Soviet army already liberated, pushed the Germans outside of their entire territory. So they were coming, and this guy said, the Soviets will take over Europe, let's stop them. And they stopped them over there. But they stopped them with the Iron Curtain. The same thing happens right now in Ukraine. The Russians, that are going to beat the Russians beat these guys, NATO and using the Ukrainians, beat them and say, we got to stop them. Peacekeeping troops, Jesus Christ, it's the same thing. Now they think, oh my God, they're coming for our lives. So, yeah, they should go over there. The Russians lost so many millions, tens of millions during this. And the Russians, the Soviets, let's put it this way. But the Soviets were Russians, were Ukrainians, were Romanians, were many others. So, here is, my friends. Trump will visit Moscow if they allow him. And that means he's still going to be alive. Lavrov announced new round of Russia-US talks. Fantastic. German Chancellor. Imagine, oh my God, imagine a country as a family. Imagine the president, the chancellor as your father. You respect your father. And you are the child. And then after a while, you learn things, you live through life, you read things, you listen to certain things, talk to people, understand. And then you hear your father being such a mollusk regarding one particular house over there in the slums of a fucking city. Would you respect your father? Wouldn't you just go and say, Father, yes, come over here. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.